Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot from ElliotOracle.com, and it's time for this month's Tarotscope reading. So this is going to be for October 2019, and we are going to go through all the astrological signs. The first three signs are going to be in this video: Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, and then I'm going to cover the other signs in subsequent videos. So if you are an Aries or have a lot of Aries in your chart, we are going to begin with you. And for Aries, we're going to do a past, present, future reading. So we're going to see what influences have been going on around you, what you're facing right now, and what's going to be coming up ahead for you in this month of October. All right, so your first card is what's been going on up until this point. And that's the Ten of Swords. The second card is what you're currently working on, the Ace of Swords. And the next card is what's going to be ahead for you in October that you need to keep in mind. And that's the Queen of Pentacles. So when we see the Ten of Swords in the past or now passing section, it can indicate confronting really uncomfortable things. You can see this man who's gruesomely face down with the 10 swords in his back. And so sometimes this card can indicate something that you were avoiding or trying to keep ahead of in the form of a fear or an anxiety that finally caught up with you. But there's other symbols on this card as well. You can see that the man is opening his hand up almost to spirit, as if he's finally surrendering. You can also see that the clouds are breaking up in the background of the card and the sunlight is returning. And so this could just indicate that even though you've gone through a rough patch or some challenges or really been facing some shadows, it's indicating that the clouds are now parting and the sunlight is returning. Sometimes the Ten of Swords is also associated with loss, so it could indicate that you've either lost something or had to let go of something that's rather difficult to do. However, we get a totally different change of energy right now for your present, which is showing you being empowered. The Ace of Swords is the opposite of the Ten of Swords, whereas the Ten of Swords shows a victim where life is happening to him and everything's just catching up with him. The Ace of Swords is saying this is empowered. It's a card of taking control, triumph by force. And you can see that the sword is also crowned, which is indicating taking control of your own destiny and being victorious over it. And hanging from that crown are two branches. One is the olive branch, which represents peace returning. And then the other is the palm branch, which represents that you're a survivor, that you've gotten through the challenges. And just like a palm tree can survive hurricanes, you're still standing after the storm. And so it's really interesting that we have that stormy card in the past, and now it's basically saying that the storm clouds are cleared and you're standing triumphantly. For you, Aries, this next month, you got the Queen of Pentacles to represent what to keep in mind. And she's telling you that you're focusing on a specific goal right now and you need to stay focused on it. There's something that you're really building that's going to create some long-term stability for you, but there's still some of those looming anxieties. In the bottom corner of the Queen of Pentacles card, there's that little rabbit there. And rabbits represent fear and anxiety. And especially if you've been through challenges in the past, like that Ten of Swords is showing, it could be kind of difficult to trust that everything's going to be all right. However, the Queen of Pentacles is telling you to stay busy and stay focused, and your worst fears will not come to pass. So this month, take control and really make sure that you're following your goals through to conclusion. The next sign we're going to go over is the sign of Taurus. So for those of you who are Tauruses or just have a lot of Taurus in your chart, here's your 3-card reading. Your past card is the Six of Cups. The present card is the Eight of Pentacles. And the future card for you is the Eight of Wands. So a couple of eights there. So the past card is the past card. The Six of Cups is always having to do with the past. And usually the Six of Cups really tells you that you're going to be looking backward. You're going to be learning from the past, or you're at least reminiscing or remembering or returning to yourself at this time and returning to what your mission statement is. And in the case of the Eight of Pentacles, this could be a time where you're getting back to basics with your work and you're really establishing some firm foundations for success going into the future. And you're also really realizing how meaningful your work is. Hidden in this Eight of Pentacles, if you can see, is this man's workshop, and then there's that little path that's leading to that town behind him. And so this is implying that your work is actually affecting a wider audience, or that your work is really your platform for affecting change around you. And when we get the Six of Cups in the past, it could indicate that it's time to let go of the past. It's time to venture out. Maybe it's time to have faith in the work that you're doing and to trust that it does affect more people than just you or just earning money. And then we got that Eight of Wands, which is a card of fast action, movement, and needing to process information rather quickly. Of all the cards in the tarot, the Eight of Wands is the only card that does not show a human being or a part of a human being on it. And I should say that it's the only card in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck that has no human being. But what this is indicating is that information is incoming this next month for you. And so you should just expect things to speed up. It's also just saying you're not stuck in the past anymore. The past is going away. It's saying you're being really diligent, you're working, you're being successful, but you're also very busy. And so it's important that you aren't taking your tasks personally at this time or getting stressed out or worried, but that instead you're just kind of going with it. You're going with the flow and you're just letting things fall where they may. This is going to be a really momentous month for you as far as productivity is concerned, but it's also going to be pretty positive, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. And then next we have the sign of Gemini. And so if you're a Gemini or have a lot of Gemini in your chart, this is the message for you. And the first card we're going to go over for Gemini is what's going away from you, the Moon. What is presently happening, the Death card. And then what you need to keep in mind in the future here, Ace of Cups. All right, so the Moon and the Past are now passing section is indicating that you have really been needing to trust your intuition quite a bit. The Moon card stirs you from within. It affects you. It represents your instincts. And it's also an intuitive card. So you've really been going within. You've been really listening to that still voice inside. And you've been starting to kind of bring things up to the surface that might have been buried for a long time. Whenever we see the Moon card too, it's often perceived as a moody card because like the phases of the Moon, your moods can shift. There's a lot of changes going on. And it's just showing that the past is fluctuating, that you're coming out of a period where things just didn't feel 100% stable. And what this was doing was setting the stage for the Death card, which is presently what you're going through. And death represents an old way of life that is now dying. You cannot go back. It is finished. You're really crossing a threshold or a finish line. And now it's time to begin anew. And you can see in the distance of the Death card, there is that sun that's rising over the horizon. And that is promising that there is a new beginning right around the corner. And so although you might have been going through some changes and challenges up until now, and you've really needed to trust your own instincts and kind of navigate through the dark with it, the Death card is promising that a fresh start is going to happen for you. That's only if you don't resist the change. A lot of times when people see the Death card or even confront change in their life, they get resistant to it. And when I see the Moon card and the Death card, these are hugely changeable cards. And so this could be a time for you where a lot of momentum and a lot of momentous changes are happening, but that you need to cooperate with them at this time and not fight it. The best thing I would say is to surrender and go with the flow. And your future card is all about the flow. It's the Ace of Cups. All aces in the tarot represent a new beginning, and in the case of the Ace of Cups, it indicates a rebirth of joy or love for what you're doing again in your life. It's also a really spiritual card. You can see that dove that's coming out of the heavens and blessing the cup. And so this could just be a period where you're really delving into your feelings again, you're getting into what you care about the most, and you're also just letting your heart sing with joy at your new beginning. When I see the Ace of Cups following the Death card, it's telling you not to be afraid of what's changing right now. What you're letting go of is good to let go of. It's actually going to lead to your joy or your bliss. So that is the end of video 1. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you do, I invite you to go to elliotoracle.com and schedule a tarot session with me. These little mini readings are wonderful, but they're nothing compared to a one-on-one session with me that goes into all of your particular areas of care and concern. So otherwise, I hope you have a great October. And if you have other astrological signs in your chart that you want to find out more about, listen to the following videos. Thanks.